Welcome to Sergio Creativity.
We're going to learn how to express possession and talk about your family in Finnish. The first thing you need to know is that Finnish doesn't actually have a verb for to have. Instead, they say on me it's like saying the object is at you. The word for on me is minulla, and the word for is on. So to say I have, you say minulla on. Try that.
Minulla on.
Good. Now the word for sister is sisko. It sounds a bit like sister if you imagine the S and K sounds. So how would you say, I have a sister?
Minulla on sisko.
Exactly. Now, if you want to say you have, we just change the me to you. On you is sinulla. So how do you say you have a sister?
Sinulla on sisko.
Perfect. Now let's make it a question. In Finnish, to make a question, we often take the verb, in this case on, and we stick ko on the end, onko, and we put it at the start. So, do you have a sister becomes is at you a sister. How would you say that?
Onko sinulla sisko?
Spot on. Now let's look at brother. The word is veli. Think of V for veli. How would you say I have a brother?
Minulla on veli.
Good. Now let's talk about the negative. When you don't have something, the sentence changes. I don't have is minulla ei ole. But there's a catch. In Finnish, when you have nothing of something, the word for that object has to change into what we call the partitive case. Usually this means adding an a or an a to the end. If sister is sisko, and you want to say I don't have a sister, sisko becomes siskoa. Try saying I don't have a sister.
Minulla ei ole siskoa.
Great. Brother is a bit of an exception like we saw in our notes. Veli becomes veljeä. Say, I don't have a brother.
Minulla ei ole veljeä.
Excellent. Now, Michel Camus always liked the street version of the language, how people actually talk. In standard Finnish, we say minulla, but in the street, they shorten it to mulla, and sinulla becomes sulla. If the word for cat is kissa, how would you say I have a cat using the casual street version?
Mulla on kissa.
And how would you say I don't have a cat? Remember to add that a at the end for the negative.
Mulla ei ole kissaa.
Very good. Now let's talk about a wife. The word is vaimo. How would you say you have a wife using the casual sulla?
Sulla on vaimo.
And husband is mies. It also means man. How would you ask a friend, do you have a husband, using the casual form?
Onko sulla mies?
Perfect. Now let's get a bit more complex. The word for children is lapsia. It's already in that partitive form we talked about, because when we talk about a general group of things we have, we use that form. How would you say, I have children?
Minulla on lapsia.
And if you wanted to say, I have two children, the word for two is kaksi.
Minulla on kaksi lapsia.
Actually, there's a funny rule here. After any number other than one, we use the singular partitive. The singular of children is child, which is lapsi. In the partitive, it becomes lasta. So, I have two children is literally, I have two child partitive. Minulla on kaksi lasta. Try that.
Minulla on kaksi lasta.
Excellent. Finally, let's try a full scenario. You're at a party and you want to say, I have a wife and two children. Use the word ja for and.
Minulla on vaimo ja kaksi lasta.
You've got it. You're building the language naturally, just like a native speaker. No memorizing, just understanding the at me is logic.